What's the first? Oh, BC versus Pusan? That's an easy game.
All right, hello, everybody, and we are on the stream. This is BisuDagger, an amazing SKCD. We are going to be casting the Kongdoo Star League for you guys. I hope you're ready as this tournament's underway.
Yeah. So let's just gonna go over the matchups for today. First matchup, we're gonna have PvP, BC versus Pusan on one of the newer maps, the Mayan. Second map, I think will be the game of the night. Will be Mine versus Movie on La Mancha. So I hope to see some carriers there at least.
Yeah,
Next will
definitely.
be Haya versus Jehoon on Avalon, and then C versus Free on Circuit Breaker. So basically, we're gonna have PvP, and then the rest of the night gonna be all PvTs. So no Zerks tonight.
Right.
So your Zerg fanboy might be a little bit boring, but still should be pretty good matches anyways.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
think you can be pretty disappointed with the matches you're going to see today.
mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, if you don't like today's matchups, there is Sunday, so, I mean, just wake up tomorrow. You'll definitely see your fair share of Zergs.
And the casters are shaking hands with someone.
Yeah, they are definitely going
Oh
crazy.
wow! Look at that. The entire studio is completely like crowded.
That is awesome.
Have people already standing to watch. I like to see that happen.
Oh, that is cool. You know what? And they got the good attire going on again. These guys know how to match.
They do, man.
Let's see here. So we're going to be going into Group A today. And let's go ahead and talk about how well Group A has gone. Considering it's basically a PvP type group. We saw Bisu versus Rock on day one. And that was a quite exciting game.
That
Bisu
was.
ended up coming out on top, but Rock definitely put up a really good challenge there.
Rock fell to his own, I guess, problems. Right. Rock, he did actually have potential to win that game. Because he was ahead and he got he actually was beating Bisu. Then he just messed up.
Right. Yeah, Bisu came in with that drop play and managed to just scrounge his way back into it, and that was unfortunate for the Rock as he couldn't go to the mid game. And then Pusan versus Quanra was the next match, and that wasn't without mistakes, of course. A quite hysterical match, but also quite exciting too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
that was just basically
a game that exciting again.
That was an exciting game, but like that was a pretty basic textbook demonstrations of why you can't lose High Templars like that so easily.
Mm-hmm.
Good if Pusan had like three High Templars, at least like three more Storm, then we would have gotten probably at least another crazy 30 minutes of play.
Yeah, would have dried out the map.
Yeah.
Had to go for a draw after 50 minutes.
We'll see carriers and PVZ like some kind of arbiter recall.
Right.
That would be hilarious.
What is that Stork versus GG play?
Mm-hmm.
The most insane PVZ ever that goes for over an hour.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome. Yeah. It's always like one really good player and then one player who's just terrible, who's having the game of his life when you have these super long games.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, then the Rock also has one of the longest games and one of the longest draw games ever too. So if you guys haven't seen that one, it's a PvP, and what does he use? Hallucination with arbiters to try and break his opponent's base, or was he the one doing the massive defense?
I don't remember. I'd have to see the VODs.
Oh, it's absolutely insane. He's turtled up on the high ground of this. The map that he's on has this huge main that he can defend with, and he's just got everything ready to defend anti-air so arbiters can't recall into his base. And someone's saying that there's still my stream not up on the Snipe-A-Lot chat. But I believe I am.
You're live. I got the Twitch notification that you were live.
Yeah, and I'm attached on Team Liquid. So
yeah. Let's see. You got from what I'm seeing. You got 12 viewers.
But let me add the video or the sound to this video here, so that way they have a little bit of game sound in the background. I never know how loud it is though, because I have it very silent for me.
Is Stratos in Korea? He's taking all these
I don't know.
pictures. If you look at Team Liquid, though, he's taking all these pictures directly from the studio.
Yeah, he he seems like the most well-connected person. But I thought on his profile that it said he was from a different country, and
Yeah, he's from Czech Republic.
maybe he knows 2 languages.
Yeah, Czech Republika. Want to hear a Slovak joke?
Say that
It's a
again?
really bad. Want to hear a really bad Slovak joke about Czechs?
Yeah, go for it.
You know why Slovaks don't like Czechs?
Why?
They prefer cash.
Oh God. A 5 o'clock joke is the best joke. You know that.
Yeah.
Tell me that joke in 6 hours and see if it's still a good joke.
It's a terrible joke, but it's just funny. It's terrible.
It is, but it works.
It only works in English too. Doesn't work in any other language. Looks like we're about to go live, it seems, or at least they're going to start introducing the players.
Oh yeah, we're going right into the players' view.
We're doing C first?
Oh my God, what is this? I thought we were going to be starting with Group A, but apparently in Hungry App, Star League wants to do things a little bit differently here. This means we're going to be in Group D and maybe working backwards?
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, so this is a group with Piano, Free, Mong, and C. And C lost to Piano in a pretty ugly game because he went for that proxy starport play. But, of course, Piano opened up with double starport as his natural build order, so that was very unlucky.
And then, Piano, immediately followed up with a 2 tank attack. C only had, a bunch of Wraiths and 1 Goliath.
Right.
So that didn't even help at all. So while Free's PvT has been really impressive lately, actually, if you watch his Sonic Star League game against, what did he play against? Soccer? No, not Soccer.
He played Piano.
Yeah, he played Piano and destroyed him, basically.
Yeah, he played a really good game.
He did like a 7 pylon, 7 gateway in the middle of the map.
Yeah, that's what
made
it
work. So, I mean, Piano's started off. Free's coming up a pretty good PvT streak. I don't know about how C's PvP been lately.
Right. Right. I liked what Free said in his interview, too. After he won, he said, I'm actually excited to play Jongbi because he wants to have the Battle of the Dragons. And so that's something we talk about often, is bringing up these players being part of the Dragon era. And I just hadn't heard in an interview, at least in a long time, any of the Korean Protoss players refer to themselves as the Dragon. So I was wondering if he even knew that he was good enough to be a Dragon.
Well, yeah, he was one of the 6 dragons, just like.
Right.
So I wouldn't be surprised they want to try to reinitialize that up. And plus, both players are pretty good PvP players, regardless. So even if they aren't top tier players, it's still a good game to watch.
Yeah, definitely.
So it looks like we're going to be playing on
Circuit Breaker.
Circuit Breaker. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is C's map. That's what I brought up in last week's cast, was that this is a map that C is always streaming on, and he's always playing against Bisu. So he's going to be very, very well prepared for Protoss, which is why I think I'm going to have to give him the edge. Even though Free's on this PvT streak, I still think that C has a huge advantage here and will be taking this game. So what are your thoughts? Who do you think is going to win this based on Free's record?
The thing, like you were saying with the, this is C's home map, playing on his home turf. And I don't think Free has ever played that much broadcasted games on Circuit Breaker, though. Because, the way that this map plays out, it supports C's playstyle, with the 2-1 timing attacks. And this map's really good for that.
Right.
So I think we actually could see C take this. So but I wouldn't be surprised if Free does some kind of 2-base arbitrage play to just attack C early on or something else like that. We'll have to see, but I think C should take this game. Especially since this is the only Star League that C himself is in. So you have to focus about one set of games, whereas Free has to worry about a couple other games, right? So maybe he doesn't have the time to put in two
All right,
preparations.
and it looks like the games have started here. This is going to be a very exciting matchup of Free versus C, as we were just discussing. Group D in the Kongdoo Star League. Everybody, this is BisuDagger along with amazing XKCD. We are going to the game right now.
Yeah, and we are now live on vertical spawns. All right. So it looks like in the bottom left we're gonna have CSD Green Terran, and then in the top left we're gonna have Free as the Brown Protoss. All right. Looks as there, as you can see, all focused, spamming the keyboard. Got to keep the APM high up.
Right.
Just to warm up his hands. Oh, sorry, my bad. That's Free's actually purple. Look, brown on the mini map, so that's my fault.
Yeah, well, they hadn't shown him yet, so that's an adequate guess. So, vertical spawns are actually pretty fun on this map because when you get the horizontal spawns, things I feel like amp up a little bit too quickly. If we're looking for that, that late macro style game and the classic PvT, I don't think we'd see it as much if they ended up both on either the top or the bottom.
Because normally the people will take their thirds and either 6 o'clock or 12 o'clock, right? Or at least like the fourth after they take the mineral only. And with vertical spawns, you can actually do that pretty safely. But if you have horizontal spawns, like you're gonna be fighting over that whatever like side of the horizontal axis. So if you both spawn in the top position, you'll be fighting over the 12 o'clock base.
Right.
It's because like the expansions and the 3 and 9 o'clock are easily harassable and siegeable because it's on a low ground and it's a really small area. So it looks like C is going to go for a Rax FE.
Right.
Get a Rax.
And on this map, it's actually it's actually better to put the barracks on the low ground at the bottom of that ramp.
Then C is probably going to do a standard 1-gate expand. So C should have the economic advantage here, though. I'm wondering if on Circuit Breaker in this position, if it's that just having a barracks and command center is going to be zealot tight.
Yeah, we'll find out very quickly, but it looks like Free is probably not going to build a zealot off that gateway and just go for the core assimilator build opening and wait until Dragoons. It's not a huge disadvantage if you build that zealot early on. I mean, sometimes you can get a little bit of damage done or just use it as an additional scout. But that extra 100 minerals allows you to get a little bit more tech out earlier on. And especially your expansion, because if you're going to 1-gate expand, you want to get that 400 minerals as fast as possible.
What I'm actually curious, though, is like C hasn't... so C built the supply depot on a low ground, so it looks like you can't make a zealot tight wall with just command center. And Free hasn't scouted yet. I'm wondering why he hasn't scouted yet. Maybe he's going to use the zealot to scout, but looks like we're going to have Dragoon range coming up. And he still has no scouting, though. That's kind of off. Because generally speaking, Protoss players will scout after the pylon or when the gateway goes down.
Right.
And maybe like Free's metagaming C here and trying to be as economically efficient as possible. Not having an extra probe, being wasteful on scouting information, or he just knows that C is going to do like a Rax expand, so he knows he doesn't have to worry about being like 2 factors, something like that.
Right.
So it looks like we're going to have Free drop the Nexus. He's going to scout in the correct direction with the probe, so it won't be that bad. At least you'll see the early command center and know that C's tech can't be that far, won't be that early up. So he might be able to do a third Nexus, we'll see. And there it is. Ooh, the probe gets killed. I didn't expect that to happen. A little bit sloppy on Free's part.
Well, let's remember last weekend when we were watching Free in his PvT that he went for a very heavy economy early on, so that way he could get his robo facility out a little bit quicker. And he ended up proxying that, kept it alive most of the game. That might have been the dagger in his game against Mong, but we do see that Nexus is out.
Just as you say it,
the inside of his main base here.
And just as you said, he immediately dropped on a robotics facility. So it looks like he's going to do the exact same thing as last week with the Reaver tech.
Right. And by air, their spawns aren't really too far away.
Yeah. So it's not going to be a proxy, so it's going to be like a safer version of it. It
Mm-hmm.
looks like we're going to have two Dragoons with range just hammering down the bunker. Not really too problematic for C. As long as you have like one SCV per Dragoon, you'll be fine. The important part right now is making sure that Free doesn't let C's SCV get into the main base. If that happens, then this whole thing's over.
Right,
Or at least Free will. Well,
and looking inside of C's main base, didn't it look like he was building a second factory? He doesn't even have a tank out, and he's spent the extra gas to get 2 factory buildings up, which is really huge to have that number of factories early on here. It's almost a little bit greedy because you always want that tank out so you don't have to waste as much minerals defending that bunker and repairing it at the same time.
yep. But I think it's just standard play though. Like generally speaking, when Terrans go for a barracks expand like this, they'll always add 2 factions and get the first tanks out. Though, however, it looks like Free's going to go safe and just put the observatory bay down rather than go for uh, Robo Bay first. So maybe thinking, I'm not sure what he's thinking with there, but looks like Free's going to be playing for the long game now.
Right, and if he had to deal with vultures, he definitely doesn't have to right now because the add-ons aren't even spitting. So now we're just getting what would be spider mines and the siege upgrade inside of those spitting add-ons.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
looks like
there
Siege
are no
is
vultures
finished.
out, so that's not going to be a threat quite yet. And the observer will probably sneak its way in around the time that the first vulture does come out for C.
Looks like C's going to start adding turrets right now. He's going to be a little bit worried about the potential for early
Right,
Reavers,
and
but
to the
it's not going
right,
to come
oh,
out.
it looked like there
Ooh!
was a little bit of push in here. The Dragoons try and get inside of C's base, but the SCVs are going to immediately repair that bunker.
Yeah, but C came out ahead though. Like he traded that thing. He didn't even trade a single Dragoon. He got the tank kill, which is actually really important for Free because now he knows that. So you can't have that much of a map present because having losing your first couple tanks, or at least just your first one,
Right.
is a huge detrimental for any Terran player. And now Free's going to have to get his observer in before the turrets are up. So he's basically going to have complete control over his vision of C's base. Looks like C's going to build an academy as well. It's going to get scans. Let's see if the vultures can run by.
I wonder if C got a little bit distracted here by the Dragoons running in because while he's getting aggressive with his vultures, it looks like he didn't really turret up inside the right side of his main base. And there's a huge opening there for Free to go for an attack. The shuttle is moving out though, and the vultures are going to be able to see it here. A couple spider mines laid inside that main base, and it's going to be really difficult. I imagine a couple probes will go down from this single vulture.
I'm surprised that Free actually let 2 vultures slip in like that because he had 2 pylons and the Dragoons make it like a little wall. So, however, it's not that bad. I mean, losing maybe, 3 probes at most, I believe.
Right,
It
and one on
looks like
gas.
Yeah, that okay. So C's going to add the third command center. Free's getting his third up as well. So it looks like both players just going to play for a more economic build again. So basically, both players' plans are to like get that third base up, get it running, and then play for the late game macro. They're going to be arbiters or carriers. I think arbiters probably would be better on this map,
Right.
but I'm not sure. So
Well,
yeah,
it looks like the factory is really only going to be utilized for defensive tank play. I don't think that Free is actually trying to figure out how he's going to get some attack done here. He did drop down the Citadel, so I mean DT drops or High Templar drops could come in later in this game. But right now, it's just going to be using his Dragoons to try and control the playfield in the middle of the map. Because these vultures are going to run wild, try and lay down mines, and set up traps for Free's army. And meanwhile, Free does have that third base now. His economy is going to start going forward. And when are we going to see C's third command center here?
Oh, so you actually noticed the observer there that it's like glimmering. She should be taken down with the Marines, but looks like the observer still lives.
And he does have observer speed upgraded here, so it can escape pretty quickly.
But like what you were saying about the voltage mine, also having the Spider-Man around the field, like the map allows C to see the Free's army movement. So like if you, especially in late game, if you're going for like a death push, having Spider-Man lets you know where the Protoss army is.
Right.
At any time. Oh, and there we're going to see the Stargate and Templar archives right now. So that should be at least give Protoss access to +2 weapons technology.
Right, +2 weapons, plus arbiters.
Going to go in. What's in the shuttle?
Oh, and here it goes.
Oh,
What is this shuttle going to
oh,
get done here? The Zealots are getting dropped
oh,
on
trying to
top of
get
the
Zealot
tanks on the
bombs.
front line here. The Dragoons coming in from the right, and this is a huge move. Free really had his army undetected down at the bottom, but I don't think that's enough Dragoons for him to get the damage done that he wanted to. So he had enough reinforcements coming on from the left to help defend and land this third command center.
Well, the important part was that keeping tanks, C's tank count a little bit down. Like he traded a couple of dragoons and zealots for a couple tanks. That's the important part. Because now C can't even actively move out, but he still has to make sure he gets enough defense for that third. And while that's happening, Free is expanding to the fourth now to 12 o'clock. So, and we see the Arbiter Tribunal coming down. So we are going to see Arbiters in this late game. C is going to add a second armory, so that way when the +1 weapons finish, we're going to have +1 weapon, +1 armor come up as well. And we're also going to see a science facility being built for the vessels with the EMP, which will be, I think, will be an incredibly important part of this game, that EMP.
Right, right. Definitely. The EP is going to be huge. We want to try and keep that Arbiter energy as low as possible. And we know that C has felt the doom of recalls inside of his base before on this map. So you definitely want to defend that. This is a weird expansion here. When you want to defend as a Protoss player, you really do have to drop down those cannons. Because of the two ramps on the left and right, there's almost no good way to defend with units and maybe one or two cannons. You have to go all out and sell your defenses at that location, or else you're going to lose it pretty quickly. Not just you won't lose your Nexus, you're going to lose your probes, because Vultures just love running in there and escaping at any direction that they can.
Mm-hmm. It looks like Vultures are continuing to be being annoying with mines. Looks like C's going to go for a raid on the fourth. He should be able to get a couple. Oh, sorry. But it looks like Free's already building a fifth, so Dragoons will still be in position regardless. Oh, look at this. We're going to have a drop coming in, but spotted by the pylon. That's good pylon placement by Free right there.
That is pretty awesome. He didn't have any other intention to do with that pylon than to actually scout this dropship. And a lot of Zealots coming in here. It looks like he just had two control groups of Zealots easily commanded to his keyboard, and was able to send them inside of the main base. But he distracted them as the Vultures run in. They realized that only the Zealots there are going to allow a lot of space for him to run in, and a tank drop in the background. If he gets even one shot off, he could kill a lot of probes. But a quick pull here by Free, and it looks like the economy damage isn't going to be too large. He managed to pull his workers away just in time. So really good defense by Free so far.
Really good, but the thing is that C's still being quite annoying with the drop ships. Like, so Free has to kill it sooner or later. He's going to use that first Arbiter to kill it. So now C knows that Free has his first Arbiter out, might be going for stasis, and we have a bunch of Korean girls hiding their faces.
Oh, this feels so nostalgic, seeing the girls returning to hiding their faces again. The shame of watching Brood War in Korea is at large again.
Yeah, like that's what they would always do there. Like have the little kids hide their faces because they're supposed to be in school or something.
Right.
They're just going out watching Pro League matches. So it looks like C's going to expand to his fourth. I think Free should challenge this right now.
And he is going to be moving in with his units. It looks like C's army is going to be coming in to help reinforce this on the left, though. And there's going to be a lot of tanks. Is Free going to be able to do this without Arbiters? That's kind of the impressive play right here. Because if he does, then he'll have Arbiters with gaining energy to come in later in this matchup. It looks like a lot of tanks are still going down. And these Dragoons are being microed really well, focusing down the exact units that he wants to target here. And SCVs will have to be pulled in.
Oh, it's actually, oh wow, Free has Dragoons at high ground as well, so that's going to help him out, especially with the miss percentage on the tank shots. So it looks like Free's actually going to come out ahead, even though it's not going to be enough to kill off C. But once again, C is losing a bunch of army units.
This is really impressive. If you look at the units that are just streaming down, his macro is insane to continually have this high army count and just run in here to take out this fourth base. It's really hard once a Terran army is expanding to that fourth to take it down this quickly. This is very impressive play by Free so far.
This is, and nice use of the D matrix there to keep that tank line for a little bit longer, but looks like Free is finally going to be forced to back off. He just doesn't have enough to break the reinforcements from C due to the defender's advantage. So it looks like C's going to have that fourth up. But he needs to recover, don't keep playing defensive and try to rebuild his army up so he can start being active on the map. Meanwhile, it looks like Free is going to expand to the top right. That pylon. Oh no, that guy. So there was a probe up there. The pylon. That got
Yeah, it got shut down by the vulture.
That was pretty good by C to leave a vulture up there. You never know when Protoss is going to do like a expansion like that.
Did you see that scan that C did on the high ground? I really like that scan because what he was trying to do is see if Free was just trying to camp units on the high ground out of vision or if he was actually ready to retreat. So by doing that scan, it allowed him to know that he could stop sending units over to that location and focus back on his economy again. So it was a really clever use of being able to see that high ground with his ComSat station.
And it looks like he's running out of space in his main base. He's starting to build gateways outside his natural. That's a random Zealot that's going to die. And I'm wondering what Free's going to do with his first Arbiter. He's going to use it for stasis, or does he have recall?
Well, it does have full energy, so he could definitely use as a lot of his abilities right away.
Yeah, but C already has EMP researched. Or he should have been announced, so it's going to be a game of Arbiters versus EMP. And it looks like
a recall play.
Yeah, he's sending in that Arbiter right away. He needs to group up some of these units right now. There, he's going to group it up. And let's see what Free's going to do with his first Arbiter.
I don't think he liked what he saw. Did you see the Observer was going through the location ahead of time? And there were quite a bit of spider mines where the Observer was.
So it looks like Free's going to build a 6 now. That's going to get killed by vultures. I'm wondering if Free should send some units over to stop those vultures. And it looks like Free's still trying to fish for a recall. Still not finding anything, but C has pretty good defense.
And it looks like C did a good job of successfully preventing 6 base from coming up for Free, and he hasn't been able to expand to the right side of the map. Free was really looking to continue his economy and basically form a map split, but these vultures and mines are just being quite a nuisance here, and if he wants to have this under control, he's going to need to build a better SimCity. Oh, here comes the recall inside of his the 6 o'clock base here. A lot of units inside, and how much damage is actually going to get done? These tanks are all grouped up as the Zealots run in.
That's not going to do a lot of damage, though. What's really nice there that C had his Zealots already by his tanks. That he saw the recall coming in, so like the Vulture was able to provide support for the tanks. And it also was nice with that he had 2 supply depots on the right side of his fort, like kind of providing SimCity.
Right.
Looks like Free finally now has High Templar, so we're going to see some storms. That's going to be pretty nice to see.
Now, I feel like that attack may have seemed like Free was maybe being a little bit impatient, but when you max out your army, you have a huge economy going for yourself, you do need to just attempt these things because you may get away with a free win. You may be able to take out that base. So that was kind of his attempt, but I think he should have waited just a little bit longer for those High Templars that he has with his army now to get their storm. Because if he recalled in and then immediately stormed, it would have done so much more damage to that 4 o'clock base.
Free's doing a double Vulture raid right now. This is actually really effective. You can add a couple of High Templar KOs, which is really going to help out C in the long run. And it looks like Zealots versus Spider Mines aren't necessarily the best thing. But C's keeping his units away from the Spider Mines. Only letting the couple Zealots try to mine your agate. And meanwhile, he has 2 Vultures still on the right side of the map. Free needs to clear those and add way more Templars to that, not Templars, cannons, to stop any more raiding Vultures. I'm wondering when C's going to take his 5th.
That's exactly what I was thinking. He needs to take his 5th pretty soon here, and I think he wanted to max out his army first before going for the 5th, which has been kind of hard because he's been losing a lot of Vultures to these small skirmishes, which have been paying off. But he really doesn't have that maxed army out yet, and he might want to push and expand behind. That might be the best play for him because it would really distract Free.
Yeah. It looks like C did build a command center. He's probably going to take the 9 o'clock? Because that's the shortest path for that command center that the natural would be floating to.
Right.
Meanwhile, Free already has his side of the map. So it looks like we are going to see that very long macro game that we've already been having. And it looks like the game's going to be over the control of the middle of the area of the map. Now C's finally pushing out. Looks like C has 2-1 timing, finally. Right. And meanwhile, Arbiters are diving in again.
Okay, here's it gonna be right here. Are the Zealots gonna be able to get enough damage in? They're running in on the front line. There is a stasis on the Goliaths, but that's not gonna be good enough. It needs to happen on the tanks. Storm's coming in though, and the tanks are gonna be going down very quickly.
But but he still has tanks on the high ground, so Free's going to have to back off here. But he can't engage into that ramp.
That was a great positioning play for C. Those 2 tanks on the bridge really made it hard for Free to push in on the left, and a couple tanks on the back of that high ground area. Very tough spot for Free to engage, and I think he needed to be more patient.
Looks like he's going to lose his command center. He's not going to be able to get it floated out in time.
Right.
It looks like his main is naturally already mined out, so Free's actually in a bit of a dire situation. He needs to get a 5th up somewhere, at least, just to keep those SCVs not idle. And what's this? 2 vultures are almost killing that Nexus down? That's impressive.
You know, the good thing about Free doing that attack was it opened up his ability to attack that 9 o'clock location. And Free wants the 9 o'clock because he wants to be able to attack in the direction where he's also going to be able to defend. And that would make it easier for him to defend the 9 o'clock than to expand to the right.
What a mind grab. Looks like Free didn't have an observer there and just lost 5 Dragoons to a couple mines. That's a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, he has not been dealing with these mines very well, just kind of blindly sending his units instead of taking care of them, and the Vultures are doing way more than they're worth in this game. Another command center is being built here, and C's expansion just being delayed even further and further, although Free's not, and you know, he's going to be running himself dry soon too on the left side of the map. Natural's going to be running low, but what he did was really smart and move a lot of his prods off the natural early, so that way he doesn't thin out that mineral line too quickly.
It looks like C's going to leapfrog his units up to that 9 o'clock again, while Free's going to solidify his position on the top right part of the map.
Yeah, he's taking away C's expansion to the right with just a pylon and a bunch of cannons.
That's actually pretty smart of Free.
Yeah, that is an awesome play.
Just knowing that C has to send a couple units to defend, attack it, and then try to expand there, give Free more time to prepare for an expansion if C does go there. Meanwhile, it looks like Free is moving his units for another attack. Let's see if he's going to go for recall to the 4th or just a straight up flank here.
Yeah, he's moving down to the right side now, and it seems like Free, since he is maxed out again, he's going to have to go for another play with an engagement on C. C has to defend very efficiently here if he wants to stay in this game. If he loses unit for unit in supply against Free, then I think that Free will just win the game outright. So the push in here, the Storm's going down, not doing too much because of the agility of the Vultures to be able to run back here, but just blanketing the area and continually doing damage.
I don't know if that was in Free's favor at all. Looks like C held on quite handily. He only lost maybe a supply depot and a couple of Vultures at most. He's still keeping his arm supply up, whereas Free just threw away a lot of units for that. Even though he does have the macro powerhouses of like 20 gateways, it seems. And
right.
Looks like, are we going to see carriers? I'm wondering if that. I didn't get to see that quite handily. It looks like we're going to see Free's first person view. Notice how C has the mini map darkened.
Right.
This is what he actually likes to do. Like he doesn't like to have the
terrain on.
Map.
It's actually pretty useful because you really can identify where your army is pretty handily with the tab mode on for your mini map.
And you can also looks like we're going to see
massive recall here, and a lot of units are going to be landing inside of this base. I think this will do a lot more damage. The Storm over there on the SCVs, the Vultures trying to run in here with the Goliaths. I think that was just more to damage workers than to actually take out that command center, and his work was done.
That was really good for Free. Yeah, because look, even though C had a bunch of tank positions there, it looks like he's gonna go for another recall. Oh wow, he's going for another recall.
And a lot of Zealots and Dragoons in here. No Storm available. Okay, I guess he did have one High Templar with that. Immediately morphing into the Archon. And C's pulling his tanks down to the low ground to attack here. This exposes C very hugely because they can get stuck on the low ground. If Free had his army available, he could start trying to just trap them in there.
He's going to get the command center?
Oh, and he takes out the command center. C's face looks so upset.
I see. Wow, that is crucial.
That was absolutely incredible.
C only has like 2 mining bases now. He absolutely needed to have that third up. So that
And
tank
the
up, so
storm. Do you see the storm on those tanks as they're trying to A-move across the map? C's furious at this point. I think he's ready to just go for an all-out attack and show the
has to.
strength of the Terran army.
He has to. Like, he's economically behind now. Like, he doesn't have any expansion on the bottom right of the map. He has to do some really major damage right now. And yeah, he's doing making the correct move. He's going to go for the right side of the map. That's where all the fresh mineral patches are. That's where most of C's freeze economies right now. He's going to set up his tanks there and start slowly attacking both the mineral only and that natural. Arbiter tried to go in, but it got...
Yeah, and an EMP went off, but that was kind of an awkward EMP because there's no Arbiter to the right of that of the science vessel.
I think that was a good EMP because what it looked like was he was trying to go for that stasis. And did get a good stasis off on a couple tanks. Meanwhile, looks like, yeah...
Wow, that army just got disintegrated, and Free is just on top of this now. I don't know that C can come back in. His economy is just too good. He's replenished his bases on the right side, and I feel like that was a very anxious push by C, where he just kind of gave up. That's kind of the feeling that I'm getting from his constant attacking right now in this game.
That was a desperation play.
Absolutely
he had to do
desperate.
immediately. You can't just let Free keep taking out his command centers. But what it does is lets him get time to get that command center back up and possibly start making moves to take the bottom right side of the map. But he still needs to do something about the economy, though.
Right.
No gas being added at the 9 o'clock. And I'm wondering,
eventually he's going to have to just go completely into vultures if he's only getting minerals going into his bank here. And a huge push to the left again. It looks like double arbiters on top, going to keep everything invisible. The science vessel is out of position here to help defend against the left side as Free is flanking C.
Oh my! Yeah, it looks like there was a terrible stasis given. I was only getting 2 tanks though. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Like C, he's getting way more out of his engagement than he should.
Those bridges are really hard to attack against for a Protoss player. Terrans absolutely love sieging up on those bridges, and that's going to make it for C. He's going to be able to trade efficiently against this Protoss army, and that's the key word at this point, is how efficient can C be against a player that has 7 bases? Absolutely insane right now for the Protoss economy.
It looks like, if I'm seeing that right in the mini-map, Free is actually expanding at the bottom right. Okay, I think those are gateways I'm seeing. I'm not sure if the observer is going to run over to it.
Oh, yeah, like just in time. There. As you say it here, there is that expansion to the bottom right, and that's so clever because at this point, C's kind of checked out that location on the map. He's not going there anymore to see if Free has expanded.
Meanwhile, that's some good mind draw for C, but every little thing that can help C right now will help him out. It has to matter. Looks like C still has to keep committing to this attack.
Oh, and that's so many zealots. 3-3 for those tanks, so they are extremely powerful here. And you can see how many zealots it took to try and take down that tank group. You would think without the upgrades, those zealots would have easily been able to chew out that mech army. But instead, D-Matrix using the ground position here and having to rely on the arbiters to do damage as C continues to push to the right. This is getting really intense.
This is. But Free knows is that as long as he keeps defending, so he's going to run out of resources eventually because he only has 2 mining bases at most because his third just dried up. And looks like that's a lot of arbiters.
That's a lot of dragoons also coming in for the right. It looks like the gateway macro in that new expansion to the top right for Free is finally paying off so he can defend with his units from the right side of the map. A huge stasis here. All the tanks are just frozen in time as the Protoss army is advancing towards these zealots, or towards the vultures in the back.
Yeah, it looks like that was C's last hurrah. I don't really see any way for him to come back here. Just the Protoss economy is way too strong. Meanwhile, like C I don't know if C could come back. But
GG, and C's gonna have to tap out here. This is a huge loss for C. He's lost 2 games now, and unless 2 other players can be as unfortunate as him, it looks like he may end up being knocked out of this group.
That would be really upsetting for C there.
Wow.
I think one of the speculators wants to go deep, at least pretty deep into this tournament.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can see the frustration.
for 2014 and the end of 2013, the second half there, he was the player to beat. He has been one of the top players for the past couple years now. So if he loses here, I would say that he's slumping in tournaments.
Looks like he needs to shape up his practice regimen. Got to fix his streaming habits.
Well, the competition has definitely got bigger. I can firmly state that the level of play is higher than it has ever been since the second era of Brood War has begun.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, let's just talk about the game though. So he actually played pretty well for the first half of the game. He was able to defend pretty well. Even though he did have a couple of bad engagements, especially at the third, where I think he lost way more units than he should have. But it just looks like Free was able to keep C's economy under control and just basically overwhelm him with the Protoss macro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, do you think he should have taken a base to the right as he was doing a really good job of expanding towards the bottom? Or was it absolutely necessary that he took that 9 o'clock expansion for him to advance in the game?
I think take that 9 o'clock expansion is way too much of a risk. Could I just get that 9 o'clock and also 3 o'clock? It's so easy for others to come in. There's such little ground space to build turrets and static defenses that you can just send two arbiters against 20 turrets, you'll still get a recall off regardless.
Right. That's definitely a tough location. And if he was going to expand there, sometimes I like to see a Terran player expand with turrets first at that location, knowing that if they lose their turrets, it's not a big deal.
Right. What he should have done was clear off the bottom right away, because there's no reason that Free should have ever had a Nexus and gateways being produced.
Right.
In that bottom right hand of the map. She should have definitely cleared it off. Looks like C's plan was to use that 9 o'clock base as a kind of like a leapfrog front, or a front for pushing into the natural, while still giving him avenues to push into the right side of the map. Because that's the way that C was moving his units. He was going to slowly leapfrog himself into the natural. But that's not going to work though in this day and age.
Right.
Because the Protoss players just Free is really good against handling that, as we saw. We saw Free go for, I think, with 3 recalls actually, just to get that Nexus that command center down, because he knew that was basically C's only chance to stay in the game at that point, rather than C just expanding to the right side of the map, the bottom, and just playing the split map scenario, which I think C would have done better, at least.
Right. Well, overall, I would say that was an A+ rating for Free in that game. He has shown that he is a PvT monster.
I was saying it's just A, not A+, because he did allow a couple zealots in to his main base, but I don't think that's much of a problem. So
I'll knock him down to an A.
Yeah, looks like Free does have his dragon shape back in the Cuspid days, back in form. So I'm actually quite excited to see how far Free can go in this tournament. Maybe he can even win it all.
Right.
So unfortunately, I don't think we have any translations for Free. Maybe. Looks like Stratus is translating in the Sniper Lot chat. Just want to head over there and check it out. Huh.
Well, thank you all for listening to this cast. This is BisuDagger, and for some of you asking in my chat channel, along with me is Amazing XKCD. I'm hailing from Florida. He's hailing from Chicago. The weather is cold regardless of where we are, as the polar vortex is tumbling through the United States of America. Yet at 5 in the morning, we fight on to cast a Brood War.
It's the best game in the world, man.
It absolutely is. You know what? I had been watching StarCraft 2 along with Brood War for a long time now, because a lot of my favorite players had gone over to play with them, and I just wanted to show their support. It was almost more blindly support, but I can't bring myself to watch it lately, because StarCraft 1 has just become so high level in play, so exciting. these players really are showing a lot more personality than we used to see from them in the Kespa days too. So it's fun to see that they're showing their youthfulness. They're showing a lot of that excitement that we didn't get to see as much in the older era.
Yeah, I think what the most important part is that they're showing the passion for the game. Even the game that's like, what, 17 years old right now, they still have this fervent passion to keep playing the game, keep streaming it, keep playing these tournaments, even though there's other games out there, even though people consider Budo be dead. Just the fact that these players still have the dreams alive, to maybe keep the game keep going on as long as possible. That's just great to see.
Right.
So it looks like we're going to take a commercial break, it seems.
Yeah, they'll probably jump into it. We'll see the Asian girl with the sword and board going into battle.
I think she has the random clock in her hands.
It's a clock that she's holding?
Yeah, so we are going to go from Group D to A. So Group C is going to be, I believe it was another PvP. It's going to be
Haya versus Jaehoon.
Oh, yeah. Haya versus Jaehoon? Okay. That should be interesting. Because as any of you guys ever know how Jaehoon plays PvP, it's probably one of the most random RNG-based PvP games ever.
Right.
Either Jaehoon's going to be a mastermind or he's going to be a complete failure. Just look up any of his recall videos just to see how Jaehoon handles PvP.
Right.
I'm going to see some advertisement for keyboards.
Oh, wow, dude. Look at on this stream. We have, is this wrong? Oh, I think we have 72 viewers.
That's not bad.
It looked like 235 because there's one stream on Team Liquid that has a really long name. That's the Snipe-A-Lot one, I guess.
Yep.
That is insane. But the Azubu app has nearly 2,000. That's awesome. And then 79,000 for the other Hungry TV app. So a lot of people watching Brood War right now.
That 10,000 from the 79,000? Really? No, that's for the Africa-based stream. They're streaming on Africa and Azubu, and then we're just restreaming it for Twitch. Oh. So it looks like commercial break. I'm gonna. Oh wow, that's. He's going back right into it. I was hoping to get a glass of water.
All right, well, we're going to take a minute break anyway. We're going to get our coffees and waters, and we'll be right back, guys. What do we got going on here? Looks like they're showing a PvP. Is this the Bisu PvP?
Yeah, this is the Bisu versus Rock game from last weekend.
Oh, wow.
And next game should be Haya versus Jaehoon on Avalon?
Yes, on Avalon.
Alright. Avalon, the newer maps. That was just the map we just saw on that BC versus Rock highlight. That is a fun map actually to look at and cast. So looks like they're just gonna do, just showing highlights from last week, and I was hoping for the Hungry Up commercial.
Yeah, those are always
well.
pretty entertaining.
Oh yeah, for those of you who didn't watch last weekend, make sure to watch Larva versus Mind. No, that was one of the craziest games I've ever seen.
That was awesome. Man, Larva's so good. Mind is so awesome.
Both players are so good. Yeah.
So, what is your second favorite Blizzard game?
Blizzard? Oh man, if I had to say, it'd be World of Warcraft. I used to play that for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Really active in the PvP scene.
That's awesome.
Quit because I just had no time in college. Let's play World of Warcraft when you're a high schooler, but once you go to college and have real life responsibilities, it's hard to keep it up. I know some players like to do it, but it's not for me.
Yeah, I started playing World of Warcraft in college, and in 3 weeks I got from 0 to 70 on a character, and I said, "This is wrong," and I stopped playing.
Yeah, it's an addiction, man. There's always stuff to do in that game. Like you can always work out more characters, do dungeons or whatever.
Right.
Actually, another Blizzard game I try to play with Hearthstone. I just can't get over the mechanics of Hearthstone myself because I'm also a Magic the Gathering player, and just Hearthstone's just terrible compared to Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
So for me, why would I play Hearthstone when I could play a better card game?
Well, Hearthstone, I feel like what they did right was they have a really fun UI. Like the character noises, like everything's very nostalgic from the World of Warcraft scene. So if you've played that, it's kind of cute and fun at the same time. So I think they definitely hit their market correctly. You know, they're targeting either a lot of the older players that want to be nostalgic or a lot of young people because it's on apps also.
Yeah.
So very accessible and very easy to play. So I think they did it right. But yeah, definitely if you're a Magic player, stick with Magic because it's a very different style game when you think about it.
Well, just the I guess the gem mechanics with the mana. It's just not for like a Magic player. That just seems really offsetting. It's like free Magic, you get free mana every turn. That's an OP.
Right.
Extremely OP. Because even in Magic, just having like just one extra land is so beneficial for any deck. Like,
right.
Even though there are actually a couple of combo decks that don't have any mana in it. So we have the turn 0 kills. Actually, I wonder if Wizard actually banned that card.
Mm-hmm.
That a couple cards for that for Legacy. I don't think they have though. It's pretty easy to stop. But we're not here to talk about Magic. We're here to talk about StarCraft though.
Right.
So this was which game was this one? Oh, this was Hero versus Aya. Yeah, this was Hero versus Aya game. We actually had pretty good micro control.
Right.
I'm wondering why you didn't play like this against Sock in the Sonic Star League.
Right, and this is the map that we're going to be seeing too. This is Avalon, isn't it?
Oh, it's just Demine.
Oh yeah, Demine.
Well, we will see Demine tonight though, but that should be the BC versus Busan game.
Right. So Bisu's playing on all the new maps.
Mm-hmm. I think everyone's going to be playing on all the new maps. It's just like spreading it out.
Yeah, I guess it
that
just
we don't see
happens
the
eventually.
Same because right now we're going to be seeing it on Avalon. So let's just talk about Avalon for a bit. So we've only seen mirror matches, but I'm wondering how they're going to play the PvT on it.
Right.
Because the fact that like there's like two maps in one, so you have like the inner part of the map, and then you got the outer part. You like basically traverse the entire map on like the outer ring without ever touching the inner ring, I believe.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I want to see on this map, robotics first play, like going for an early robo play in PvT, because I think it would be a lot of fun to see how you can take advantage of that drop play. And seeing how a Terran player decides to turret up, what locations, because these players have been scrutinizing over every inch of the map. So you learn so much from seeing a pro play compared to what you can put together yourself just by staring at it. And that's where I think the early to mid game is just going to be really interesting to pick apart as we watch these two players go at it.
Mm-hmm.
But the really difficult thing that is I think it's going to be really hard for a Terran player to push out towards the middle in PvT because it's all low ground, all middle, wide open area. There's nothing to stop a Protoss player from getting a complete surround on the Terran opponent once they do the mech push. So how are you supposed to be able to push out as a Terran player?
Well, what you also think to consider that due to the nature of having like the two maps in one, it's not that bad for Terran to push out because you can isolate at least one half of the surface area of your army towards like the ledges, and plus like there's still the ramps. Like the ramps compared to each natural compared to the middle of the map, not actually that far off. So it's not exactly that bad for a Terran player, I believe.
Right. I think I think what the Terran player needs to do though is just continue to turtle and expand and just play it really safe. Because as you said, the ramps are really close. You could basically map split if you want to do a horizontal map split. That would be the best way to go, and just have that tank line going across the map.
Right, and then you also have the backdoor expansion that are pretty safe to take and defend. So
right.
So it looks like that probably would be the best choice for hire. So I'm wondering what happened if they get horizontal spawns, though. That's a bit riskier for Terran now because instead of having horizontals, you have vertical expansions. And I don't think the ramps are that good for vertical expansions.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like we are live here. Oh yeah, it looks like we're
got the player intros coming. We're gonna be seeing some PvT, guys. A lot of it today. I hope you're really excited. I love these two players, Jaehoon and Haya, going to be going at it here in just a minute.
So it's going to be the second PvT of tonight. Oh, man, another commercial.
Oh, now we finally get the commercials. Why couldn't we last week?
Because there was nothing to recap last week.
I found it very amusing that the Sonic Star League / OSL, they do the exact format the exact broadcast that they did before, where once the game is over and they come back from commercial, they immediately go into the replay and scrutinize over everything that just happened. Mm-hmm. But of course, then it takes forever to get to the next game.
It doesn't matter if you're taking forever to the next game here as well.
Yep. All right, put your hand in. I really wish they'd start selling their badass jackets and stuff. I want a team jacket.
Well, just wait for the ultimate hope. We just have the Pro League start again and players start forming back into teams.
Right.
And then maybe they'll start marketing towards international audiences as well. At least start to support their team with merchandise sales. Because I don't think back in the Caspa days, those team merchandise was pretty exclusive, right? It was kind of hard to get.
Right. You could really only get the merchandise if you're in Korea.
Right. And you had to get even if they didn't have much to sell within Korea anyway, so even if you got something you have to pay a lot for a third party.
Right.
Rather than buying direct.
Well, sometimes if you went to the matches, they would hand out stuff, and that was the way of getting it, was to go and then get it for free.
Yeah. They always have good goodies. I remember I think it was New Year's Day during Pro League. They'll just give up pizza. Everyone got pizza.
Right.
People are just eating pizza on the stream. That was fun to watch.
They've improved the chair quality though, because they used to have those white plastic lawn chairs.
Really, for Kongdoo?
No, like in the past when we watch Pro League games and stuff, they had those old school plastic cheap chairs, and now the KSL has some really nice seating arrangements for these players, for the fans.
The OGN Studios has nice seating. They also got the theater chairs as well.
Yeah,
I remember back when NBC was still around, they had the ghetto plastic chairs in the ghetto studio.
Yeah,
compared to the OGN studio, and it was still nice, but it was still kind of ghetto-y. So it's so dark in there.
I mean, the last pro games were played all the way up to 2011, and yet we still had like brick monitors, brick computers, old school chairs. It's like there was this constant refusal to get anything new because StarCraft wasn't new, so they didn't need anything fancy. But everything looks so ancient.
So it looks like I think the cast is just going to talk about the next game for now. I'm
Yeah,
liking
probably.
I was wondering why the middle Kanjo didn't have the striped ties as well. Must be part of the attire dress-ups.
Right.
Cause I thought he would have like a black tie because the rest of the guys have black cardigans. Oh, that's a nice screenshot of the crowd. You see all the players standing.
It is just so refreshing to see how packed it is. You know what though? If you watch the 2001 like 2002 games, do you remember how the studio looks where it's open, there's no soundproof booth, and it's just like a little round stage with the players like 2 feet away from each other's facing each other, and then just the entire crowd standing circular or half circular around the stage. So it was really cool
like,
to watch back then.
Yeah, like the players could act like the spectators could actually somewhat interfere with the players if they wanted to do like within arm reach.
Right.
Those were good. And everyone had the funky haircuts with like the spike hairs and the afros.
I mean, do you think if there was no soundproof booth to protect Boxer, that no one would have thrown a water bottle at him for going for a bunker rush a 4th time in a row? Don't they? I'm pretty sure a crazy yellow fan would have been like, "F this! I'm throwing my bottle at Boxer. He can't go for a bunker rush 4 times in a row and just throw it at his head."
Yeah.
He would not be safe.
You can throw stuff at the booth, but it's just the booth. It's not going to affect the players.
I guess that's true. It freaked me out though. Something hit my booth window while I was playing StarCraft.
It would freak me out for me to be playing in a booth. Could that be a stage? I could stage fritters right there. It's like, oh my god, I'm playing in front of people.
Right.
I mean, these guys are seasoned pros. They're used to this stuff, so not a problem for them.
Right. Yeah, and I think I'd wear outfits that would really throw off my opponent if he was able to see me while we were playing the game.
Yeah.
Then I'd make faces at him.
Or you just get the loudest keyboard you can.
Right.
The cherry MX Blues. Those things are so loud.
Right. Get the mechanical keyboard with the extra clacking. You pay 15 extra bucks for the extra clack. Sounds like taka 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 taka. Yeah. Oh, good stuff.
So it looks like we're going to be about to get going into the game now. Looking at the Avalon, you can see it on that map and on your screen. Kind of like there's just all these backdoor expansions that are like interconnected. And then you got the middle part of the map, like a little frozen lake. I think that's what's supposed to be. Or a frozen pond.
Right.
That's how I view it. Might just be a empty plain that's been snowing.
So looking at the records here, Haya lost his first game and so did Jae-hoon. So both these guys are kind of fighting for their tournament life right here. I feel like you can count one of these players out if they do lose here. So absolutely critical game because they don't have a win in their favor yet.
Right. And if I had to like make my decision right now, I think High will take this. Only because Jae-hoon PvT is worse than High TVP.
Okay, I'm going to go with the fact that I think this is going to be a Protoss favored map in PvT, which we might find out very soon here. So I'm going to go with Jae-hoon on this. So we'll find out who got the right predictions. Cross spawns, call them out.
Oh, ooh. Cross spawn. I think it's gonna be better for Haya. In the end, I think having the cross spawn as a Terran player is actually better because any kind of like shenanigans that Protoss can do, it's going to take more time for it to happen.
Right.
Regardless.
What I'd like to see here, though, for Jae-hoon is open up with that gateway, go for the gateway core, but maybe build a Zealot or two early on to go for an aggressive attack. I think maybe he might be able to get some damage done. I'd like to just see how an early Zealot could mess with and harass the Terran player early on in the game.
I actually would like to see Jaden go for a 12 next.
Oh, that'd be insane.
Get away with it.
That'd be insane.
I mean, the cross bomb position is going to help him out.
Right.
So, but I think the way that Jaden put that first pylon down, he's going to go for the gateway above the
assimilator.
The geyser here.
Right.
And then
geyser.
Standard core. Gateway core build.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like both players, nothing cheesy. Haya going for supply depot in his main base. And there's the gateway from Jaehoon. Is Jaehoon going to scout? Oh, no scouting yet. Wow.
Well, maybe he just watched Freeze game and was like, really? Protoss doesn't need to scout against Terran? Is that what we're doing these days? Okay, things are different. So the barracks is going to be coming down a little bit on the high ground of the ramp there. And I'm not sure it makes a difference right now. He's probably not going to be going for a wall off. But I guess if he did need to, he could build a supply depot on the left and right for the wall off. I haven't gotten to play Terran enough to figure out the wall off positions here. So I think I'm going to try and make that a goal in the next week.
I haven't got a chance to play any StarCraft for the last couple of weeks. I've been on vacation, unfortunately. So it looks like core is going to be built. We still don't know any idea what Jason's intention is. I think the fact that Jason's not scouting looks like taking inspiration from Freeze game.
But it is going to be a fast robo build because he got the assimilator before he got his core down. So he's definitely going to have that extra gas. And it's probably going to be early reverse. Unless he goes for the Citadel. Then we know what he's really going for.
Well, I think it's going to be scouted by Haya sooner or later. Haya got the scout out. And I don't think... Looks like Jason's saving for Dragoon, maybe? Oh, wow. Okay. This is interesting from Haya. I thought, like, he's going to go for the early CC. Mm-hmm. I thought he would put the barracks on the low ground to help with the SimCity.
Well, he'll probably lift the barracks and move it. I think he wanted the barracks on the high ground in case he needed to defend. It's a better position for that barracks to sit up there. But he will probably lift it and bring it to the front as he builds a bunker out there. He needs to get a couple Marines out first.
Yeah, it looked like he already moving the SCV up there to build the bunker. So meanwhile, Haya hasn't been able to get this SCV into the main base because the Zealot is blocking that ramp. And it looks like Haya can't glitch himself through. I'm wondering what the third SCV is doing out there, though. He's gunning for proxy, or... See, he just had that third SCV randomly out there.
Oh, what's he going to do here? He's going to go for a glitch. Maybe he's going to build a factory in the back and try and glitch vultures. Oh, this is absolutely exciting. Seeing a Terran player do this, he should be able to go through the temple. His SCV is trying to make it through. Oh my god. Is Haya going to be able to pull it off? Yes, it looks like the SCV finally makes its way, wiggles through. It is going to be in behind the base here.
No,
oh, wow.
No. Haya's not doing this for the fact. He's doing it to get the scout off. He wants to know exactly what Jagan's doing. And he's going to get it off.
This is awesome. And he does know that it is going to be a Robo Reaver build, identifying that he probably got his gas up quicker and knows exactly what he needs to defend with.
So basically, that entire part was just so that Haya could get the SCV into the main base. So this is basically Haya abusing the map to its full potential. That is actually quite elegant play from him. I like the fact he was able to notice that and abuse it right away. And meanwhile, if Haya can defend this Reaver play, he's going to be so ahead because he has two command centers up to Jaehoon's only one command center. So Jaehoon has a lot of damage to equalize it.
But the advantage here is he does have that Robo. He does have Robo Tech. So at least he can use that throughout the game. He's going to be able to get his Observer out when he needs to. But Haya is doing something really smart right here and putting down a starport. So he probably will have a patrolling Wraith to defend against this. And this slow shuttle is not going to be able to make it across the map in time. That Wraith will be done first. So unless he can disguise where his shuttle is going to be coming in, he could get picked off. It's going to come down to the patrolling of Haya now. Is he going to be able to pull this off? An absolutely huge and crucial moment right here for the Terran player.
Highest building the second bunker is a fallback option.
Right, because he saw that the Zealot is coming in here, and this is a very aggressive attack. He's going to have to bring out his Marines and pull them back to that bunker behind. And a Reaver going to be attacking on the front. The shuttle managed to make it across, so we're seeing that the size of this map really isn't big enough, especially with the shuttle here.
Wow. You see that? Like, Jaehoon got the Reaver shot on all those Marines, so all those Marines are dead. And meanwhile, he still has 2 Marines left. They're going to be killed off by the Reaver. So
this is looking really strong right now. This Wraith needs to come in as soon as possible. Does he have shuttle speed? It looks like that shuttle's moving really fast.
No, it's not shuttle speed. I think it's just the map itself.
Okay. It's really hard to tell here. It's just a really small map. But that's incredible. He did lose all his units, but he's preventing the mining on that lower base. And did Jaehoon expand behind this? That's going to be the thing here. If he has that 2-base economy, then he will start going ahead.
Yeah,
oh, yes, and that Nexus is finally done.
I think Jaehoon will be safe enough to even do a triple expand. Another, take that backdoor Nexus down. Meanwhile, Jaehoon's still trying to fish. And higher start really need to be up really quickly just to chase that shuttle out. So it looks like...
and here comes the drop. It looks like a Zealot going to be absorbing that initial hit by the cannon. The Reaver shot does not go off, and now the Wraith is out. He's going to have to drop that Reaver on the low ground and just let it defend itself to the death. Oh, there it goes, and now the lonely little slug is going to have his life over here running away from the Wraith. It will eventually die too.
Yeah, but the Reaver still got 8 kills and managed to completely delay Haya's mining at the natural. So that's good.
Right,
and it looks like Haya's going to go for drops himself. Like he got added the control tower to his starport.
Right, either that or he'll go completely insane and maybe put down Cloak.
Yeah, you see what I see?
Yes, carrier build.
There, we're going to see the carriers.
And this is a very abusable map if you can get your carrier safely in the back here. But if a Terran player plays it right, you can almost trap those carriers in to certain positionings where they wouldn't be able to escape. I don't know if Haya is going to be able to recognize that this is a carrier build, though. The Wraith is going to need to run in here and scout. If it dies in, it'll pay off in dividends for Haya right now. So that's what we're going to hope for. And trying to poke in here, I think it's more important that he gets the scout off versus trying to kill off probes. And it dies. He doesn't see it.
That is terrible.
He doesn't know what's going on. There's another starport coming down, and the fleet beacon is on its way. So it looks like the carriers are going to be coming away without Haya noticing anything.
This is the wrong move. Haya's building the 3rd command center right now. I don't know if that's going to work out in the end.
Oh, and here comes the dropship. You were right that he was going to try and go for that dropship play, but everything looks very well defended. That observer is going to have the vision here, and the Dragoons react just in time. So Haya needs to just go for defensive macro play. That's his best option right now, and he needs to get comsat stations because he doesn't have one comsat station available. The Academy coming in so late, as you can see, so he can't even scan his opponent's main base. And, you'd see if a player like Flash would not have gone this long without having the scans available to him.
Looks like, I think what Haya should do is still try to go for that drop and just go on the lower side of the map. Because Haya hasn't even touched the lower side. Actually, neither player touched the bottom left side of the map.
Right.
It's all been, based off of the right side of the map play. So, meanwhile, we should be seeing carriers pretty soon with the, I wonder if they can, there's the core spinning for the,
+1.
Yeah, the +1 air weapons. So these carriers are gonna do a lot of damage right away.
Right. And if anything, if you're a Protoss player and you want to know, the one upgrade that you could get as far as armor goes is the plasma shields, because that actually helps out the interceptors a little bit.
So yeah, it looks like Haya's gonna go for that bottom drop. I think he will be able to scout the carriers this time. Because the Dragoons are actually a little bit out of position to intercept the drop from this side.
Right.
But there's going to be a pylon there, so maybe he'll be able to catch it in time.
Okay, here comes the drop in the background. Here is this dropship going to be able to get in. This is a very big moment for Haya, as he's really tried to anticipate his Protoss opponent, and a Reaver comes out too. So staying aggressive here with this Reaver. This is really cool play by Jaehoon.
But I'm wondering, can Jaehoon even afford to gas for a Reaver? Because he needs the gas for the carrier. Oh, that's a beautiful scan. Did you see that scan?
Right.
Haya
Finally, the
was-
scan does come down here, and he's going to be able to see that main base.
Oh, okay, so Haya knows exactly what he's dealing with. I think what he's trying to do initially was get the scans down so he knows where the safe spot is to drop his.
Yeah, as soon
what
as he
was,
did that scan, also he started to research Goliath range.
Yeah, that was a really crucial scan right there. And we're going to see right now, what Haya just simply has to do is just defend.
Right.
Because Haya has 3 bases right now, so he's economically ahead. And just try to get that Goliath critical mass, or at least not allow Javen to get the critical carrier mass. So it looks like the first 2 Dragoons and Reavers are already out, and wow, Haya has no air support.
This is such a crucial timing for the carriers. You think, why is he moving out with 2? How can they actually get too much damage done? But because there's no anti-air units and just static defenses, these carriers can attack basically anything they want. And he's using the Reaver to attack the turrets. Very smart there, but there's too many turrets. He's going to have to run away.
Yeah, it's just 2 carriers by themselves. It's not enough. We need to have at least like 5 carriers then before you can start bullying Haya around the map.
Right.
So meanwhile, Jaden's going to take his 3rd at a pretty good time. So it looks like this is not the end-all, be-all for Jaehoon. There's the drop right now. This is actually going to be, I think it's going to work out pretty well for Haya. Jaehoon's reaction is so slow. Wow.
Wow.
Now he finally pulled
okay,
off
2
probes.
tanks are inside of the main base now, and he's going to have to pull those probes. A couple of them do die. Some damage done, and Haya doing what he can. And Haya's one of these players that, even though he can get himself behind in the beginning, is able to come up with some really good strategies to come back in this game. And on the opposite end, we do have Jaehoon, who has the ability to throw away the late game. So it's actually very favorable for Haya right now in some weird way.
Yeah, that was some really slow reaction time. But it's actually interesting that like the way that Haya played that, it looks like he's just trying to buy time for his Goliath fort to come up. But Jaehoon only has 3 gateways right now. That's not a lot of ground use, so Goliath is still going to be pretty effective.
Right.
The army size of Jaehoon.
Jaehoon does have that
actually,
3rd base
Haya's
behind his main expansion, though. And I wonder where he's going to decide to take a 4th, because a 4th will be pretty necessary here. But this is a really strong push from Haya right now.
Yeah, and looks like Haya's actually already building a command center at the 9 o'clock location. That's probably going to be scouted by the... that's a nice drop by...
Wow, those vultures in such a good spot there. That's actually a really broken spot on the map. You can't get zealots back there.
That is such terrible reaction by Jaehoon. Jaehoon lost probably 10 probes to that drop right away.
Right.
That's all each vulture had 3 or 4 kills on it.
Do you see how quickly this army's getting across the map here to attack?
Yeah.
This is as soon as a Terran player finally decides to unsiege and just mech up across the map and do the power march, it is incredibly hard to defend because you have to macro like crazy. Just not enough time here. So we're seeing that being an advantage for the Terran player on this map.
So it looks like Jaehoon did...
Ooh, Reaver doing an attack here in the back, forcing all the SCVs off. Got 5 kills and it's delaying the mining time. Both these players are playing some pretty fun game right here.
It is. But Haya still pushing it. Haya knows he has the advantage
right
now. Because Jaehoon's Reaver did almost next to nothing, and Haya had the economic advantage. Even though he did lose that 4th to that Zealous, he had a 4th to cancel. Just the fact that he has 6 tanks and all these Goliaths being able to trade with the carriers is really going to be important. So it looks like the Reaver drop's going to be cleaned up finally.
Right.
Good target firing by Haya just to get the Reaver down before the Zealot. Meanwhile, Zayden's abusing that cliff to his full potential with the carriers, but the scans, it's not going to help out. But Jaehoon really needs a ground armor. He has nothing. Still only 3 gateways.
He only has 3 gateways, and he doesn't have High Templar tech. And High Templar tech's a good unit to mix in because it'll kill off these Goliaths very quickly if you can get storms out. So,
and
2 things we're not seeing.
And carriers are pretty actually mineral intensive. So you can use your excess gas on the High Templars if you have carriers being produced, which will help at least deal with the ground part. So meanwhile, Jaehoon has to engage because the Terran ball's way too big right now.
Oh, this looks like it's going to be wasteful. Where are the interceptors? There's absolutely none going in with that engagement here. And he lost half his units already, if not more. This Doom push is really looking bad as Haya does advance into the natural base of Jaehoon. Oh, GG. He caps out. That was a fail-hoon game right there for sure.
The classic fail-hoon.
Oh my goodness. I just... we got excited about carriers, but I don't think they were the right move. because he just didn't have an advantage off those two bases to go for the carriers.
I think he only should have went for the carrier if he really did enough damage.
Right.
Because like what he needed his carry to do was be in the highest side of the map, not on its own side of the map. It's like he's like the fact that though that Hyatt abused his that mineral patch at the 3 o'clock, which is at the end, was absolutely crucial to the outcome of this game. And you can see Hyatt on the screen being really completely relieved by that, knowing that the way he played the game got him so lucky with that scout.
Yeah. I think the only thing that Jaehoon could have done is put his Stargates in a different position, but he put them in such a standard place that he could have hidden them inside of that backdoor base, and the scan would have not revealed anything at that point, because if you saw with the Wraith didn't scout that out. The dropship didn't go to that mineral only in the back, so he would have been able to at least surprise Haya with his carriers if he hid the tech a little bit better.
Right.
But you can't 3-gate. You can't do 3 gateways off that build. It's just impossible.
No, that build only works if you manage to keep Haya's economy under control, which your Pole 2 gateway count can still be relevant enough. Like, basically, Jaehoon's game plan was to use that surprise Reaver tech to destroy Haya's economy. But I mean, I think Jaehoon didn't know the map well enough to realize that,
right?
Even if there's a potential for an SCV to glitch in from that backside, you should still expect it anyways. Because that kind of thing will like completely allow the Terran player to know what you're doing and then just completely counter you, as we saw in that game. Like Haya just had the perfect counters. Even though he did lose mining time to natural, he still was able to pull off the SCVs. He didn't actually lose that much,
right?
Compared to Jaehoon's investment in that Reaver attack.
I think Jaehoon expected to maybe do more damage or win the game with that push. But Haya played that so perfectly by putting the second bunker down, and all it did, even though the bunker didn't really have units in it, it did enough to allow him to get a tank out with siege mode, which one tank on the high ground and SCVs on a ramp is almost, and you can defend infinitely at that point against an early game Protoss army.
SCVs imba, my friend.
Right.
SCVs imba. That's a lesson to every StarCraft player. SCVs are imba.
Right, only Zerglings can kill off SCVs quickly on a ramp.
Yeah. I mean, Zerglings can kill anything on a ramp pretty quickly.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome and efficient.
Oh my goodness.
So cue the gamer nerds who are just posting all the horrible things that they want to do to the Stargirl.
Yeah, I need to see your stream right now. I don't have the chat open. I'm just talking about the fact.
It's Twitch level chat right now. Yeah. It's a pretty interesting design, though. I mean, they didn't give her a complete sweater. I wonder if her shoulders are cold. Is it discounted if you have the holes there?
Or maybe like she's just doing it for the sake of fashion.
You know what, though? I think not just for the sake of fashion. I think it's the sake of utility. Because she could put her head in one of those 3 holes and then use her arm in one of the other positions too. So you have 3 different ways you could wear that sweater. I mean, that is awesome. I've never seen such an outfit that you could wear it in so many different fashions.
Does that shredder even stretch far enough to be able to utilize in such fashion?
Well, I think so. It might be a little bit tough. She might have her right arm stuck in the air based on the tightness of where she puts her head.
But it's fashionable, right? So it doesn't really matter in the end.
Right.
So, oh man. So it looks like I'm just reading the translation from the Sniper chat. So it looks like Haya won because he made the fish face and then got the star sense with the SCV scout.
Right. Man, this is that game, and I hate to throw my boy out there, but that game is exactly what Haya did to Bisu when he recently beat him in the best of 3. is that he really he kind of faltered in the early game, had a rough time with some of Bisu's harassments, but managed to edge it out. And where it looked like Bisu would have an easy time to win the game, Haya just came back against one of the best top three Protoss players in the world. He came back and made it look so impressive. And you're just like, how the hell did he do that? So I don't know. Haya's TVP is really doing well lately. So I mean, that's good for him. Oh, here we go. This is the girl. We're going to the advertisement time. Sorry, no more talking about StarCraft when this girl's on.
Girl talk. Yeah, there's the sorting board. Oh, I didn't see the presents one. That's new.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And I'm going to get some more water. I'll be right back.
Okay, quick break, guys. We'll be back in a minute to just talk about shenanigans until the next game begins.
What is this commercial? The talk show is an interesting talk show.
Are you just saying random things?
No, like there's like a new talk show that's I don't know what it's about though. It's like a Hungry app sponsored talk show. You're just doing random stuff.
That is a wild outfit. And I guess the vests are back in. Okay, guys, so we have a small Brood War community, obviously, in the international scene. What you guys need to do now is get us trending worldwide on Twitch. Do hashtag Brood War.
Yo, get us back when we had 2,000 viewers for Brood War. Today when BC started streaming, we had like 200. We didn't get on the front page, but we got like the front page of the channel directory. That was fun.
That was awesome. Guys, hashtag Brood War for life. BW4LYFE. That's what you got to do. And if you care about Brood War, you need to follow me on Twitch. I am Twitch TV/BisuDagger. Along with me is Amazing XKCD. If you want to find him, just come to this channel right here because we are co-casting this KSL. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are entertained. I promise you one of these days I'll just get absolutely drunk and say things that I should never say because it's going to happen. I can't do too many of these 5 a.m. casts without drinking. It's not going to happen. But
I think drinking. You should never drink when you wake up. Like you already have coffee. I don't know how coffee and alcohol mix, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to try it either.
I'm going to like pre-freeze some margaritas. Wake up. Salt my coffee mug, and then pour margaritas into my coffee mug, and just down those. It's the only way.
I like how that guy thinking the girl cheating with the controller. She's winning.
Right. So, okay, of these top 16 players, who do you think would be... I know we were talking about fighting, and we were talking about which player we'd like to see do chess boxing. Who do you think would be the best competitive fighting game player? If they had to play, Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat or Super Smash. Let's go with Super Smash, maybe. Who do you think would be the best of these 16 players in the KSL?
Flash.
Haya?
Flash.
No, well, Flash is excluded. We're talking about the KSL players.
Oh, KSL?
Yeah.
I would have to say higher.
Yeah?
Well, based on what I've seen so far, because like the thing about Street Fighter is like Street Fighter's a lot of mental games. I've also played fighting games myself. When I was like Street Fighter, like any fighting game in general, it's a lot about execution. It's half execution and half being able to read your opponent. So
Yeah.
you have the execution, that's the mechanics part, and Hyatt has an incredible mechanic. And then you have the execution, which is basically like Star Sense and StarCraft. And what we saw in the last game, like literally Hyatt Star Sense propelled him to win the game right away.
That's a good point. I think
Good, like,
also from that same group, Hero would be the worst because he has such high APM that he might get really pissed at the low amount of keys that he needs to hit.
I don't think it's that bad. Like you can spam buttons in certain fighting games and still manage to get away with it.
Right.
But like the thing about fighting games is that every button click has to be done for a specific reason. Like if you spam button, because if that's like every like action you do, there's like a recovery. So you have your startup frame, right? So your startup's like when your character does about to do something, and you have your actual thing where the character does something, and you have the recovery where they can recover from it. So if you keep spamming buttons, you're gonna catch yourself in recovery. You've traveled where an experienced player can easily take advantage of that.
Right.
Get like a full combo off. So like just mindlessly spamming buttons, they're not gonna work in any fighting game, especially like in Smash or Street Fighter or even like KOF, because of the way those mechanics work.
Yeah,
So
I think button spamming works more effectively in a game like the new Mortal Kombat or the new DC game.
Yeah, well, I haven't played those games, so I can't really comment on that. But like,
they are excellent. They are like the best sequels to the games.
because I know
think.
like the fighting game community hates us,
Oh yeah.
like they hate Injustice.
Injustice is
Injustice
the
is-
newest one. Yeah, I've been playing that, and like the storyline is kind of cheesy, but it's actually it's a pretty badass game as far as like the single player goes.
Yeah, but for the competitive part, it's terrible
Yeah.
because it has weird mechanics and the
Oh,
strange
yeah.
change- and the netcode's pretty bad. So, but meanwhile, if you guys are interested in watching Street Fighter, there is a couple Street Fighter tournaments going on this weekend. You check out the Street Fighter part of Twitch. You also have a team that has a Street Fighting forum as well. The also Street Fighter thread. There's a couple really good players down there, and plus we did pick up a team. We did recently pick up a professional Street Fighter player, Knuckle. He's a really good Street Fighter player himself.
Right.
I wonder if he plays Marvel. I don't remember. I know he has a really good. Why is my mind going blank right now?
Oh my god. You know what's being played right now? Kingdom Hearts 2 is being played in Awesome Games Done Quick 2015.
Oh really?
That
Oh,
is
that's
awesome.
nice.
If you guys aren't aware of Awesome Games Done Quick, it's a really cool thing that the community is doing where these guys speed run through games. And I actually watched the entire Battletoads one because that's one of my favorite games. And it was really fun to watch. It was badass. They beat the whole game in like 30 minutes. But you should be able to see it here. I think I can bring it up on the stream. So I'm just going to give them a little bit of free promotion because they deserve it. But Kingdom Hearts 2, and they're just going to be running through this. If you don't know, it's an RPG with like RPG style characters mixed in with Disney characters for some reason. Just is. So that's why we're seeing Aladdin world. So very cool here. There you guys go, getting your little glimpse. And these guys actually talk through all the hacks that they figured out. Well, not necessarily hacks, but the like exploits they discovered to like jump through things. And it's pretty amazing how many exploits there are in these old games.
I actually like the Shovel Knight speedrun a lot. That was actually pretty entertaining for me to run. Like I never heard of Shovel Knight before, and now I'm like pretty interested in that game.
Oh
I
yeah?
was watching that speedrun. But I was a bit disappointed that Tryhard himself wasn't doing the Yoshi Island speedrun. But he was just commentating though on the bench only.
Oh yeah.
He's like just spam Tryhard all day in chat when he was doing it.
That's funny.
He's like that's like if you ever type to Tryhard, that's the Yoshi Island speedrunner. That's his punch shot.
Right. Yeah, I saw the yesterday they were
I think-
playing the Metroid Prime speedrun, and that was pretty cool too.
So it looks like we still got commercials on the main stream.
Probably only a couple more minutes though.
It's pretty boring. It looks like we are going live now. They got the little intro going in again, unless we are duped and they're playing another commercial after it.
Yeah, here we are. Guys, this is the Kongdoo Star League. It started off with Yellow and a couple other guys, like Shark and stuff, mixed into this group to start this new Star League and this company here. So it's really inspiring to see these guys from the early 2000s try and support the new herd of StarCraft Brood War players. Unfortunately, they're infinitely better than the guys who started the league. Yellow really not up to the quality of these players in StarCraft.
Mm-hmm.
And we only have one more PvT here. It's going to be Movie versus Mind on La Mancha. And I feel like Movie's game,
map.
did you watch him earlier in the SSL? Where,
Yeah, of course.
Who did he lose to?
Mong,
yeah. And I feel like Mong won that game because of the map. And I hate to say that, but it really is a Terran-favored map.
It is, but I feel like Movie could have made way better decisions on that map.
Right.
Like, Movie only had like 4 bases at most. Like, he should not have let Mong really expand to like completely to the left side of the map.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, and Movie made really a bunch of questionable engagement decisions
Yeah.
when he wasn't at full supply himself. So I mean, I don't know, maybe just like stage jitters, or either Mong just simply is the Africa Flash.
He was drinking Pokeri Sweet in like the biggest bottle ever.
That part. Just like you're taking secret training from Flash, like next thing you know, you're gonna see him next week. You're gonna have the ruler. It's like a big ass ruler.
Right.
Measuring stuff.
It would be hilarious if you had a giant ruler. Or like a protractor or something new. An evolved ruler. Oh, man. Hey, but that is why Flash was the best. Because he's OCD as fuck. Oh, and excuse my language. Mature stream, guys. Deal with it.
I like that cheerful that Movie has up there. It's like him being like Godzilla in the
Oh my god.
or something like that. That's a cool cheerful.
Movie is Honey, I Am. Movie part of the Bai clan.
Movie Honey Jam. I don't know why you use Honey Jam, but okay. It's like a honey pot or something for the NSA.
Right.
Look up Movie. You've got into the honey pot. Get on a bunch of blacklist. Well, that's a pretty cool poster, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. I want someone to put me in a giant poster.
Yeah, you can do it yourself, but it just won't be the same, man.
You can't self-posterize. It's just not cool.
It's never cool, man.
Never cool.
Yeah, you gotta first get a following, and then have the crazy fans do it for you.
Right.
Oh man, those are really comfy looking chairs, man. I could sit in those all day. All day watching movies like this.
Right. I think
So
you're a
it
couple
looks
seconds
like
ahead. So guys, I'm gonna refresh my stream real quick just to catch up. Don't freak out if you're watching my stream. It'll normalize in a second, and then we'll be synced up. I'm only like 3 seconds behind you.
Really?
But it makes a difference. So my stream, it's coming back up. I promise, guys. I'm loading right now. All right, cool. I'm back on live. We see the casters here.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's one of the trials and tribulations of watching Twitch streams. Like, you're never going to be completely synced up.
Right.
Just due to the nature of live streaming.
So I think La Mancha is a pretty balanced map. I think the imbalance is the fact that Mind is absolutely out of control lately. He's very tough to beat. Defeated Larva in his first match in a TVZ. But a PvT, it's going to be a little bit harder, I feel like. Movie is so solid. He's been around long enough that La Mancha should be a pretty well-played map for him at this point. And there's a lot of really fun engagement points. As I know people like to call it kind of like an awkward swastika in the middle there. But all the high ground spots are going to be really crucial as you do those middle of the map engagements. So I think we're going to see an even game as far as the map will play out. It's really going to come down to who's going to have the better strategy to open up with and take them into that mid game with the advantage.
Yeah, and you also know another thing to note about this just the matchup. This is actually, I think, going to have the best matchup tonight. So like this is like probably the best PvT we're gonna have up tonight. Even though Free
Right.
versus C was actually pretty good PvT, and Haya versus Jaehyun, the one we just saw recently, like the last match, which was pretty interesting. But I don't think that's the best one we could have seen on that map at least. So here it is, there's La Mancha. Basically, the way it works out is that you have your natural, and then the third's kind of like far off, but you have options for your thirds, like not that bad, which third you decide to choose. The way the map works, just you can funnel off both ways, like you go one clockwise or counterclockwise. Make the map pretty dynamic itself. And then you got the little like high grounds in the middle of the map, like the windmill itself.
Right.
So
I think sometimes that third base is a decision based on, well, first of all, obviously wherever your opponent is spawned is going to determine where you do take your third, because you could go, say you spawn at the top left, you could either go for the 12 or the 9 o'clock expansion. And for a Terran player, you can take C's strategy and expand towards your opponent. That's not necessarily a bad idea. It's not too terrible to defend compared to the other location. But it's going to depend on where the harassment's coming from and what you can get away with for your third base, depending on how aggressive your opponent is.
And then I think, like, from what I recall back in Caspade, so there's a lot of carry to play on La Mancha. Just simply due to the nature of how there's, like, a lot of bridges and, like, islands,
Right.
segregated areas of the map that Protoss is going to be. So if we're going to see go late game, we're probably going to see the carriers again.
And here we go. The countdown has already begun. 0 seconds left. This is the Kongdoo Starz League. I am BisuDagger on the microphone with the co-caster, Amazing XKCD, and he will be calling out the positions right now.
Right now? Okay, right now.
Right
so
now.
It looks like...
Do it.
Cross bombs. Oh, wow. All right.
Put
So
you on the
looks
spot.
like mine's going to be the green Terran, and then Movie's going to be the yellow Protoss. So mine's going to be... Sorry, not yellow, white Protoss. So mine's going to be in bottom left, my bad, and then we're going to have Movie at the top right. So I think if I have to consider these play styles, I would have to say this spawn gives the advantage to Mind. Movie definitely an aggressive player himself.
Definitely.
And having the cross position is a bit harder for him.
Definitely. If he had the close spawn position, if he opened up, maybe 2 gateways first to try and be aggressive, that would have favored him. But these spawns are really far away. So if Movie does have some sort of early game plan, it's not going to pan out. And dropping that pylon on the side of his base so close to his nexus looks like he might just be opening up standard anyway.
I really want to see some Protosses go for 12 max, man. Like, I feel like the level of play is getting so refined that, like, can actually manage to pull it off. Like,
Right.
I'm like a lot of these players are just doing like standard stuff. But I'd like to see the riskier or macro builds.
It's definitely not going to happen today. And Movie, if you guys don't know, is down already with 1 loss against Killer on Circuit Breaker. So he is fighting for his tournament life right here. Mine can play a little bit more relaxed. He can play with what he wants to get away with. But even though this is round robin, there's a chance for players all to go 1 and 2. It's just mine can do what he wants, and a much better position to be in. And I think that will play to his advantage going into this game.
So it looks like both players are playing standard.
Well, it is going to be a fast robo build again. He did go for the assimilator before his Cybernetics core.
And again, it's not going to be that great for Movie because of the spawn positions. And looks like Movie's not scouting again. So I guess if Protoss doing late scout, they're going for the choose your builds because they need to maximize their economy just for their build, it seems.
Right.
So it looks like we're going to have the pretty late scout from Mind, actually. But we're going to see the factory expand, so maybe a fake double or like a vulture expand based on how Mind scouts. So
yeah, no, I was wondering when that probe was moving out, if Movie was going to scout or maybe even put a closer pylon and go for a DT build with that faster gas. But no, he's going for a aggressive Dragoon build. Because getting that research for the range on the Dragoons over the core, I think that he is going to be playing really aggressive here.
It looks
Obviously,
like
Rage is going to be research for the Dragoons, but I think the fact that he went for gas first so quickly, he's been mining with 3 probes. It puts him at a disadvantage to go full out on the simulator if he's not going to go heavy into gas.
and having this cross position doesn't really help movie at all either.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just time to take for the Dragoon to travel across the map if he does want to do some kind of like a bulldog, or which we're probably not going to see anyway because there's no
Right.
show.
Well, I was wondering if it was going to be 3 gate.
Maybe we might want to try to hide attack until the SUVs are gone.
Right. So let's see how many gateways he just decides to drop down after that SUV was taken out here. Oh, getting the nice close-ups here.
You got the Doom stairs.
Right.
The Doom. Both players playing really lax. It looks like Moo's just going to go for the expansion, so you can play it safe, knowing that if he does try to do something really cheeky, mine would catch wind of it anyway with that SUV scout.
Right.
So, and meanwhile, mine knows what he's up to, what his options are, so he's going to go for expansion himself. Looks like he already built a bunker at the natural while we were watching the Zoom faces, so both players are going to be on equal footing for now. So nothing too decisive yet about this game. I think that might be Siege being researched right now.
Yeah, that's definitely got to be Siege. I don't think that he's going to be going for the early spider mines here. The Robo is coming up though. Oh, this could be spider mines actually. I wonder if he would favor that and get some vultures out to help with this push, especially since the observer's not going to be out. It'd be very beneficial here for for Mind.
Yeah, this is just a standard fake double from coming out from Mind. Mm-hmm. So basically what it does is you apply early pressure with the Marines and tanks, using the Marines as fodder for your tank, and then you use the Mind as your safety backup because Dragoons aren't able to clear. It looks like, here we go. Mind's just going to play it safe with his Marines and tanks. Oh, wow, look at that scout.
Yeah,
Mine
definitely.
got the SUV in there and sees the early robotic facility with the observatory. So
now, I think on La Mancha though, this push is a little bit weaker because look at that glitched out probe, but it is much weaker than say a map like Fighting Spirit because you have those bridges to defend on, and it's a much more open area for the Terran player if they push out here and want to siege up and have that position to contain on the natural base. I just don't think that Mine can continue a contain.
Right, man. It doesn't help with the cross bonds either, because even if Mine were to commit to it, we would have enough time to get a suitable amount of Dragoons to easily trade. And meanwhile, it looks like we're going to go up 3 gateways right now. We still don't see any other attacking observers, while Mine is just going to start mining around the map with these vultures. So the first observer is going to be out. So it looks like nothing pretty too bad so far.
Now, it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, dropping those 2 gates down is pretty standard after your natural base. But I think maybe since Movie was forced to absolutely put them down, considering the pressure that Mind was adding on, maybe Movie will go for a 2-base timing attack. He does have the opportunity to build a really strong army, pump out quite a bit of units, and go for a frontal attack on Mind's base.
No, Movie already sent out a probe for the third location at the 3 o'clock, so it looks like Movie's not going to go for a 2-base attack.
Oh, good call.
So you're probably going to see a pylon wall there. Looks like he's building it right now. Meanwhile, Mind has scans up, and no refinery at the natural yet for Mind. Maybe he still doesn't have the minerals to support extra factories yet, so he's probably going to wait until he has the extra factories done to add the extra refinery down there. So we are seeing a third command center come out from Mind. So it looks like Mind's going to play the economy game as well. But we are going to see these 2 observers from Movie get inside of Mind's base pretty easily.
Right, and no turrets are up right now. Have we seen the academy yet? I didn't recognize if there were comsat stations already built.
Scans are up. We already have scans.
Okay. And this bridge is one of the easier locations to defend here. So this is kind of a mistake by Movie to allow these vultures to get in. He should have had units over here to block. And one of the Dragoons actually going out to a vulture, a rare sight indeed.
And what also helping there with that Mind snipe the probe that was sitting there. So that's a bit going to push Movie back. Like we can do it that bridge, if I remember correctly, from Cuspa games, that you can just completely wall off pylons, like make a little curve shape. Movie was just playing it really too greedy. It's only having 1 pylon and 1 Dragoon there to block.
Right.
And Mind took advantage of that, knowing that. So meanwhile, we're going to see the first-person view of Mind. Mind's going to put down the engineering bay. It's pretty standard stuff. I wonder if Mind built an armor yet.
You know, though. Oh no! Now the armory comes up. Armory comes up just as you mention it. Perfect timing. But I want to mention that movie has a huge advantage here. When you look at his natural base, there's a decaying vulture in the sand, and that's going to be really intimidating for the Terran units when they arrive at the base to think, "Wow, there has been some bloodshed here. Maybe I don't want to attack this base."
Oh, what's this? Oh, this is nice for Mind. He's getting a little vulture right after third. He couldn't have had a couple probe kills. That's
four kills already. He might be able to get up to 5 here. Can he get one more shot off? Yes, he does. A 5-kill vulture.
That is really good for Mind right now.
Just completely kamikaze. And he got basically that vulture got more kills in the afterlife because he did put those spider knights down first. So very cool kill.
Oh, a little bit sloppy play by moves. He should have known that vulture were going to mind that if they were able to get into third right there. And just to try to stop you into a minute. And we're going to see the Arbiter play. So it looks like Movie's going to go for the more conventional Arbiter play.
Right, and look how many probes are in Movie's base. He's really oversaturated on that main. He needs to transfer those over to third. But it took him so long to finally get that third base secured away from the harassment of Mind. Mind playing really good early game harassment right now against Movie.
Yeah, and what I'm actually liking, like the way that Mind's playing over the last couple months, he's getting better and better. Like the way his vulture movement, and the way he's kind of poking in, finding the weaknesses, getting way much better.
Yeah, he looks so mechanically sound.
He does. And it looks like I like what Mind's doing at his side of the map. He's building supply depots. By Mind's building like a little sim city, and that's an interesting DT right there for a movie. But it's not going to do anything because it's already turrets up. Like
right, and sometimes what you want to do with your DT is the reason why you use it is because you can mine drag into the tanks with the DT, and it's a very expensive suicide, but sometimes you can get some really sweet kills off. But with the turrets right there in good position, Mind's doing a great job of building his outward sim city, so that way he can defend both the natural and the third very easily. With the turrets, the supply depots out there, the barracks for vision, this is about as perfect as a Terran player can play at this point in the game.
Oh, that was a nice scan. Ooh, Mind immediately saw that DT, like the shrimp DT right there.
That was such a quick response. He immediately identified it, scanned, and is able to basically match every move that Movie can think of right now. And while Movie's not making the mistakes that he made in the game against Mong, he's really just struggling to find what to do in this game.
Right. And I think what Movie's options are is like he has to play for the late game. Like he's not going to be able to get a late kill off. And what I like Mind doing here is Mind's going for the quick push into. I'm not sure why he's going to the fourth. This is actually, I think, a mistake from Mind right now. There's nothing up there at the 12 o'clock. He should have started working toward the 3 o'clock base. But I like what he's trying to do. He's trying to get like a Terran push before the first Arbiter comes out, just for the timing of it. I'm wondering if Mind has weapons upgraded already for the +1, which would have helped with this push. Meanwhile, there's the vulture there. He's going to snipe it. No, he's not. At least he knows the Movie's going to be expanding to the fourth. And Mind only has 5 factories. That's a bit low, coming off of 3 bases.
Right. These bases are kind of, for a Terran player, are kind of awkward for the number of production facilities you need to build. There's not that much space for factories, and I really feel bad for a Terran player when they're on the maps where there's not enough, just not enough space, because a lot of the tiles are unbuildable. So he's got to rely on building inside of his main in the best efficient way possible.
Yep. But mine has good building placement, so it's not that bad. Like I like the way he had the factories all nice and lined up. And looks like we're going to go for a major engagement here.
He is maxed out. He is hitting his 4th base at this time too, and probably thinking, well, if the Terran player is not going to push out because this might be their 3-base timing attack opportunity, instead I'm going to be aggressive and push in here first. So he needs to absolutely get the stasis off. He got all 4 of those tanks on the left side, so absolutely huge. The Zealots are streaming in now, and this is the opportunity. Is Movie going to be able to pick off a lot of these units? A nice mind drag. The Zealots out to the bottom right. This is good. This is a really good push.
Movie could have been a little bit more efficient right now. Like he has blocked by the Dragoons ahead. It's giving more time for the tank to do damage to it. And I think mine will hold.
But he did focus down all the tanks, and it's going to take a really long time to get those tank forces back up again. A large group of vultures are still alive, but the zealots are streaming inside of that third base there and picking off SCVs. I think that movie didn't focus down the SCVs efficiently enough because he could have killed off quite a bit more here, but instead just continued his SCV mining. The vultures do clean it up, and enough tanks, I feel like, to defend if another wave of attacks did come in. So mine will be okay from this. He did lose a good portion of his army, though.
I actually don't think that was a good engagement for Movie because like he had a bit of a micro mistake for the Zealots because half the Zealots were being blocked by the Dragoons. So the Zealots weren't being as efficient as they could have been. And I think mine actually came out ahead in that engagement. If you're seeing right now, mine knows that the Movie's doing so many units for that, he's going to start pressuring toward the fourth of Movie.
Right.
Movie's going to be a bit hard pressed to defend because of that narrow choke point there is right there.
I think he might be underestimating the number of gateways, though, that Movie has inside of his main base.
EMP. All those zealots are just going to melt right away. So he's going to lose. Actually, Movies might actually be able to kill all those tanks. So there's still one tank alive, though.
Like, this is going to be rough. And that Goliath is doing a ton of damage here. He needs to take down that one single Goliath so he can actually make use of his Arbiter as effectively as possible. Although it did get EMP, there is no energy on it. Just going to continue to shield from the background. The Goliath is still alive. It might... Oh, he got the stasis down here. So this is going to be enough. I think Movie should be able to defend here, especially with that perfect stasis coming down.
Yeah, but there's still two tanks still firing off for Mind. Mind's still 2 tanks up there.
Oh my goodness. All Zealots, though, with that speed. I wonder what the upgrade situation is for Movie. That's going to be something important right now. We know +1 is done. Okay, +1 armor, or +1 weapons is done for the Zealots, but no armor. And that's kind of an important upgrade at this point with 1/1 mech pushing in.
Armor. So mine just has +1/+1 right now. So mine has a upgrade advantage. Looks like mine's actually going to take down his 4th. This is the same thing we're going to see. We're seeing last week with Movie just faltering in the mid game right now. Like this shouldn't be happening right now to him.
Yeah, this is a huge thing here, and there's a lot of activity at the bottom right. I'm wondering, yes, there is going to be a Nexus coming down, so he's going to expand to that to the 5 o'clock location here and take his Nexus. Meanwhile, mine is going to be expanding too towards the 6 o'clock. So he will be matching on bases. Just think about this though. He has almost completely mined out the main base of his. So he's going to be sitting on 2 base economy for a little while here.
But same could be said for Movies. Like it looks like his Movie's main base completely mined out, and so is his natural. Based on what I'm seeing in the mini map. So right now, Movie has to make sure that his hidden Nexus it pays off. But I don't think mine's the kind of player that let that go unseen. It looks like mine does take down the Nexus at the 12 o'clock. So, and he looks like repositioning his tanks back home to defend against the counter push.
Right, and that's really smart for Mind. He does need to make sure he can defend this base here. It's very important for him, even though he is ahead. And Movie is doing every opportunity he can to stay in this game. I think right now he's going to be okay because of his counter push and Mind calling all his forces back. It should allow Movie to be able to re-macro up and at least stabilize.
Right.
So here's a very important push here, and Mind is actually going to have to fully commit. He's coming in from the back. He was being really patient here, allowing Movie to suck his complete army in before he goes in to engage. And it's going to be impossible for Movie to escape on the bridge, and he's going to lose all his army now at the 6 o'clock base. How much does he have to defend? His army supply has got to be really low at this point.
That was a bit of a necessary scan there, as there's already a vessel in place. Meanwhile, is Movie going for a recall? That's probably one of the Movie's chances to get back into this game because it looks like he's just falling out.
Oh, huge recall too. This is one of the heavy mining bases over at that 8 to 9 o'clock position, and now it's actually going to trigger Mine to go for the attack at the natural base.
Go for it. Like it's okay for Mine to let that base fall because he has the 6 o'clock to mine from. It's not that bad. And I think that command center still lives, so when he cleans up, he'll be able to keep mining, but. This depth push from Terran is pretty scary right now.
It's very scary, but I think one thing that Mind hasn't done right now is recognize that there's a base at the bottom right, or else he would have gone for that immediately and taken it out. But instead, High Templars are out now. The storms might be available to him. Is he going to be able to whittle down this army though? He's got to play to the advantage of this high ground and pick apart his opponent's army. This is such a huge moment for Movie. His tournament life is on the line. Can he hold on right here? Another great engagement.
That was another good. I think that was a recall. It seems. And
that 6 o'clock is under siege. There isn't much mining for Mind, but he does have the army supply, so he can win this game outright, even without being able to re-macro if he does things correctly.
Neither players have been able to mine at all. It looks like.
But a huge TT here. Is there going to be a scan? Mine's not noticing it now. He's so spread out. And when you have that, your units are being attacked all over the map, you really don't know which location. You've got to hit space immediately to bring yourself to that location. Oh, and huge stasis right there. A lot of these tanks are going to be held off. Meanwhile, it looks like a DT might be able to get in there and do some damage. It would have been nice